As you walk through your space day after day after day after day, after 20 years, you don't even notice sometimes what you're walking by.
The mural's been here for about 4 or 5 years. It was just a plain wall before. You always see people stopping and making a picture of it on their phone, like all the time, which is really cool that people appreciate.
That's one of the beauties of street art. It doesn't have to be a privileged thing. You don't have to go to a museum. You can go and see world-class art all over the city and be right up in front of it and touch it.
It's much more interesting to walk through a city that has art on the streets than a bunch of gray walls. A lot of cities are realizing that around the world. It's not surprising that it's here as well because we are just a hub for a lot of creative energies. My name is Tiffany Conklin, and I'm one of the founders of Portland Street Art Alliance.
My name is Tomas Valladares. I am a co-director and co-founder of Portland Street Art Alliance.
We started the Alliance in 2012.
Art in the street is a really big motto for us. We just want to see more art in the street.
Portland, in particular, is a pretty gray and dreary place. So I think here it's really important that we brighten up the streets and bring a little bit of action, character, and interest into the streets that we pass through every day.
We want to see color on the walls. We want to see art in the streets. It engages with community, it shows talent, and it's accessible to everyone.
There are a lot of murals in Portland now. Previous to 5 years ago, there actually weren't a lot. It was illegal for a while to paint, so you weren't seeing much of it. And everything else was kind of considered graffiti. But there's been a big shift culturally. I'm Gage Hamilton, and I'm an artist, muralist. I coordinate public art projects and curate as well. Growing up, going to different cities, I was always fascinated by cities that had so much visual culture on the street, and Portland being known as being like such a creative city, it just wasn't something that was around. I'd always get jealous. Then I started wondering, like, why can't I paint here? And why can't I see all of these amazing artists from around the world paint, and all the local artists that are here that would like to as well. Through my organization, Forest for the Trees, we've done about 75 murals in Portland. As cities change and more money comes in, artists tend to get pushed out. So I'm trying to make sure that artists have a place here and that people value their work and they want them to stay here, and they realize that that's why people like Portland, is because it's a creative, interesting place. If we get more buildings, I want to put more art on them.
You can imagine what it would be like going through a city that was devoid of any aesthetics. What would that be? Murals can add meaning to a community. They can become an icon. They can become a wayfinder. I think we're all bringing unexpected things into the city's landscape.
I think it's a kind of a special place for art and creative fields in general. My name is Zach Yarrington, and I am a hand letterer and muralist living in Portland, Oregon. What drew me to public art was the fact that anyone can experience it or kind of take it their own meaning because it's out there in the world in public spaces. What I think special about typography and letters is that it's a pretty strong medium in that anyone can understand, granted that you're speaking the same language. I think I have about 6 or 7 outdoor murals here in Portland. And hopefully it's something that people are proud to have in their neighborhood or on their blocks. Hopefully it gives people something, you know, to maybe change their day a little, make it just a little bit brighter.
Sometimes when the sun is setting, the light will reflect off another building and hit it. It's hard to describe. She looks like she's thinking about something, but you don't know what that is. It was actually a pretty cool experience being able to watch the art being made over the course of several days. I wanted to find out more about the artist, so I looked him up on Google, and I actually did meet him after he'd finished the piece, and I thanked him for putting something beautiful for me to look at.